up, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Hops Geek News. We are a podcast that talks about comic books, movies, TV shows, and of course, we feature a beer of the week. I'm Matt. Alongside me is Lauren. And if this is your first time ever finding us, well, hey, I hope you enjoy it. Welcome. Come along for the ride. You can find us on any podcasting platform at Hops Geek News. Join on any social media platform as well. Hops Geek News. Join our Facebook group where we do a lot of cool, fun things. Just come along with us. Subscribe on YouTube. Share with a friend. All of that good stuff. Today's episode, we are going to be talking about Emerald City Comic-Con with a splash, of Clearwater Comic-con, which takes place in Clearwater, Florida. Both Lauren and I got to attend a Comic-Con this past weekend, and so we're going to talk about it. Additionally, I'm going to be giving away an exclusive t-shirt that I got from the Roosevelt's booth at Emerald City Comic-Con. So I will explain the rules later, but just know that there will be a secret word that I will say. And if you DM us, you'll get entered and all that good stuff. But I'll go over that later. My beer of the week is going to be Ripe from Great Notion Brewing. It is a 7% hazy IPA. It is loaded with tropical notes of mango and papaya. Pretty good. Great Notion. Can't go wrong with there. I did not bring any beers back from Seattle. I could have. I didn't. But I did hit up a couple breweries that I'll talk about here in a little bit. So, Lauren, what are you drinking over there?
I'm actually drinking a beer from Bottle Logic in Anaheim, California. I found this beauty at a GB bottle shop, and it's called She Shot First. It's a tropical hazy IPA, and it says, when the mission went to hell, Eve didn't take chances. And you can see the picture. It's almost like a Rosie the Riveter kind of thing.
That's cool, yeah.
But I'm drinking it out of my Cad Bane glass because I don't have a Han Solo glass. So, which is a pretty stupid glass. But I do have a Han Solo and Carbonite here that I just took a picture with. So that's what I'm drinking. This is very easy drinking, very light. It's 6.4%. And it says it pairs well with chicken sandwich. But yeah, it's fantastic. When I saw that we had Bottle Logic at our local bottle shop, I was like, that's amazing. I know I had some of their beer from you when we were at FanX.
They're about 10 minutes away from Disneyland too. So
I know. I went there about 5 years ago.
Oh, that's right. You did. Yeah. It's a wicked good brewery. If anybody's in Anaheim going to Disneyland, you got some free time, I highly recommend hitting up that brewery. It's pretty good. So, good news. How the show works also. We talk about things that we messed up on last week. We talk about what we've been reading or watching. And we also talk about some news, the latest in pop culture news, before we get to our main topic. Luckily for us, we didn't mess up on anything last week, did we, Lauren?
Not that I know of.
Look at that. If you ever find a mess up, though, please let us know. We love to bask in our screw-ups.
Oh, Tim. So I actually saw Tim this weekend. This is your Stanley cameo.
Uh-oh.
And if you just started listening recently, we mentioned Tim a lot. And so we say it's our Stanley cameo. He's been on our wrestling episode, our Loki episode. His girlfriend was actually the one that put on the Clearwater Comic-con. We'll talk about in a minute. And he said we had messed up on something. Oh, I think it was the name of a mayor in New York. I said Coke, and he's like, it's Coach. But it's spelled like the Koch brothers.
Oh, yeah. It's Koch.
Yeah.
Oh, I look. You know me with names. I cannot pronounce names. It. So
I thought it was Coke because of the Koch brothers. So there you go.
Well,
we fixed it. I don't even remember what episode that was. It was a while ago.
Tim's slowly catching up with us. So I guess.
He says he feels bad when he calls us out every week. I'm like, call us out away. As long as we're actually wrong, we're all here for it.
Do it. Call us out. No, that's how we stay honest. We like to be called out. And also, hey, it helps us feel good because then somebody's listening to this show, right? So let's roll into some what we've been reading or watching lately. I actually did some reading this past weekend on the aeroplane. I began to read Something is Killing the Children. And let me tell you, that comic book is one that I have been sleeping on because I know it's been one of those people have been talking about it and it's going to be a Netflix TV show at some point. So I went to my comic book shop, Captain Comics here in Boise, and I was like, cool. All right, I'll pick it up. It first, it's from Boom, and man, let me tell you, it's about a basically Erica Slaughter. She fights monsters, and these monsters are only things that kids can see. They kill the children, obviously. It's written by James Tinian the Fourth, and the illustrator is Werther Della Edera. Oh God, me and names, right? And yeah, no, I read the first 5 issues, so the first trade. There's like 7 trades out right now. The art is fun. Erica is a badass lead. She's fantastic. I highly recommend picking up this. I need to pick up the other issues just because this, again, it's gonna be a TV show, and also I just can't believe I've been sleeping on something that is so clearly Ali.
Yeah, I've been hearing about it for a while.
Yeah, highly recommend it. And then I read the newest Superman issue that's been out. That was pretty cool. And then I also read Batman, One Bad Day, Clayface, which is by future guests of ours, Colin Kelly and Jackson Lansing, excuse me. And wow, this story, it's kind of a lengthy read, but I mean, you're on a plane. What else are you doing, right? Besides sleeping. And it was good. It focuses solely on Clayface. He's in LA. He's trying to become an actor. I'm an actor. And it's one bad day. He just has one bad day, and it kind of spirals from there. It's been a series. There's a series, like I think there's a Catwoman One Bad Day that's out. Highly recommend that on your pull list as well. Haven't been to the comic book shop this week yet to pick up anything else. So I finally finished Hogwarts Legacy. No big deal. Won the House Cup. Hufflepuff for life. But I'm going to play it again. I love that game a ton. Going to play that again. And then I'm caught up on Last of Us and Mando. What are you up to?
Not too much other than Last of Us and Mando. I have Carnival Row. Did you ever get into that one on Prime?
No, that's with Orlando Bloom, right?
Yeah. So it's a very interesting story. We actually talked about it when Chris from Geek Peak was on a while ago, and I was saying we're on the Lord of the Rings one. And he's like, well, I don't get why you don't like Lord of the Rings. You don't like Harry Potter, but you like, he even mentioned Carnival Row, and he was trying to
like fun.
Well, he was trying to figure out what is it of the sci-fi genre that I like and dislike. And I think I figured it out. I think I like the sci-fi political shows because it's like, because it makes sense. So it's almost like a sense of like, political okay, these dramas can't really happen because it's involving fairies and dragons and werewolves. So it makes light of situations that could and have happened. So it's very interesting to see the, like Queen Cersei and stuff. So I think that's what it is. And Carnival Row is very political. And it's one of those shows that does the whole, instead of being like blatantly racist, we're going to be blatantly discriminatory against the fae folk. So the fairies and the werewolves and stuff like that. And of course they treat them terribly and all sorts of stuff is going on. So season 2 just started. I'm not completely caught up, but it is a good show. And it's very like fun to watch. They do a great job with all these different characters and the stories, and it's entertaining.
Yeah. Political stuff. I have to be in the mood.
That's Game of Thrones is political.
I know, but I never finished House of Dragon because I have to be in that right mood, I guess, to watch something like that. Andor, very political show.
Yeah.
Love the hell out of Andor. It's Star Wars. So I'm going to, except for
give it an exception. Well, a lot of Star Wars is political, though.
Star Wars is heavily political.
Yeah, and it's, literally based on things that have actually happened. So I think that's got to be what it is. It's like I used to enjoy watching House of Cards, but it was always so
Pretty
scary.
Soon you're gonna be watching Fire and Chicago Fire and Law and
House
Order
of Cards was pretty popular for a while. It had
Law and Order.
Upcoming Blade was in that. But the thing with watching House of Cards, though, is like you're like, oh god, all this stuff is probably actually happening because you're watching it in DC. Yeah.
And we relived it real time.
Exactly. So watching it when it's about fairies and dragons makes it entertaining because you're like, oh, this will never happen. They'll never be discriminatory against people who were born with wings and can fly.
Oh my God. Are you serious? Imagine, just give us, pretty soon we'll have a nuclear holocaust and people start growing wings. And I guarantee you can't sit with us. It's coming. It's going to be terrible.
I did watch a movie with Kylo Ren.
His name is Adam Driver. Okay. And he also has a new
Googling
movie called
Kylo Ren
out. Yeah.
That's not the one I watched.
I know.
So this movie
today.
Okay. This movie is Jane Fonda. It plays the mother of these 4 kids, and the 4 kids are
House of Gucci.
No, it's not House of Gucci. This is Where I Leave You. It's a comedy drama. So her 4 kids are Jason Bateman.
Oh, Paul Rudd's in this.
No, he's not.
Oh, wait. That's the... Okay, my bad. I thought he was. Never mind.
So the 4 kids are Tina Fey, Jason Bateman, Yellow Jacket, or as we now know him as MODOK, and Kylo Ren or Adam Driver. So those are the 4 kids, and they all come home because the very beginning of the movie starts with dad died.
Yeah, okay. I knew the dad died. That's what it's about. For some reason, I thought Paul Rudd was in it. I'm thinking of a different movie. I don't know.
Oh, and also Xavier's girlfriend is in it from First Class. Maura Taggart. She's in it too. No, it's a good movie. It's drama though. The dad died and it's all these adult children dealing with this situation and dealing with life. But I saw the cast and I was like, well, I'll watch this just for the cast. And they did a great job. So it was kind of, like Family Stone, where it's got a lot of heart to it, a lot of feelings to it, and some of them good, some of them bad, but it's also funny because the cast is just great. It's on Netflix.
Yeah. No, that just came out. Yeah, I don't think I ever watched that. But yeah, no, I'm going to go see Scream this weekend. Ooh. I'm excited for that. I can't wait. We're going to go see Scream on Saturday. That's out. So we'll be talking about that next, or I'll spoiler-free thoughts it. I'll probably make a TikTok, man, because that's That's, I try to be cool.
That's what all the kids do.
I love talking about movies, first and foremost, obviously, since we're doing the show. However, we aren't going to talk about The Last of Us this week. We'll talk about it perhaps on the next episode, where Lauren, who hasn't played the game, is in for a surprise as the first season wraps up. It's supposed to wrap up the first game, and I'm really excited to see her thoughts on the first season of The Last of Us. I'm really excited. Mandalorian, only 2 episodes deep so far. Don't want to get too spoilery. This week. But I really, really, really want a ride at Disney in Galaxy's Edge where you get to go on Grogu's pod, and it's one of those 3D adventure rides like they have at Universal for Harry
Did you hear
Potter.
Jon Favreau talking about that?
No, he was talking
about Not that it's happening. Somebody was asking, they were interviewing, because they interviewed Bo-Katan too, who's Katie Sackhoff. And they were like, if there could be a Star Wars ride or a Mandalorian ride at Disney, how would you want it to be? And Jon Favreau said that it would be like how he goes,
John,
I always like
my boy.
He's like, I always liked when they pulled back the curtain, and that's probably what got him into making movies and TV shows. And he said it would be like when you're in the ship and you have that, what do they call it? The 360 thing?
Yeah. I know what you're talking about.
So it would be kind of like that. And then Katie Sackhoff was saying, apparently there's going to be a scene that might have happened in this episode where she was flying and she was making the cameraman like nauseous because of how she was having to do it. But she's like, it wasn't making me nauseous because I was in control. So I don't know if it was this episode. It might be a future one. Because, sometimes.
So this one, I don't really, what do I know? But
that's the thing. It's like behind the scenes. Like sometimes you think like, oh, that was, one scene right there. And they're like, that scene took 15 hours. And I was like, geez, it lasted 2 minutes. Right.
But I would love that. You know what else I need? I need a Star Wars movie series about the underground pod racing world where they're boosting converters. And the lead is all about his family. It's Anakin talking about family. It's called, I don't know what it's called, but it's Fast and Furious, but with pod racing in the Star Wars universe.
You can have any beer you want, as long as it's a bad motivator.
You can have any drink you want, as long as it's blue milk.
As long as it's blue milk, yeah.
Give me that stuff. Yeah, no, we're caught up. I haven't watched The Bad Batch yet. I don't know why.
I'm behind on Bad Batch.
I write for a Star Wars website, dorksideoftheforce.com. You'd think I'd be all about this, but
I just haven't gotten sucked into it. I know they had the young Wookiee showed up. I think that's the last episode. I think that's the episode I'm in the middle of.
I watched the first episode of season 2, and that's all I've watched so far.
Yeah, I do need to. I do want to finish it. I heard it ended well.
I will. I'm going to binge it. I think I'll binge it. Maybe that's one of those shows where if I binge it, I'm like, oh, really good.
I feel like I need to rewatch the ones I watched. I loved Mando this week, though. I really did. And it's like I already wanted that Bo-Katan helmet, and now I want it even more.
All right. I have a theory. I don't think Bo-Katan is going to turn heel at any point. I honestly think that she's going to work with Din the entire series, and I don't think she's going to turn heel. She wants to see Mandalore come back to power. Yeah, she probably wants that power. Yeah, she maybe wants to be tempted by it, grasp it, but I don't think she's ever going to turn on him. Now, no,
I don't think she is. I think she was all talk. Although I do think that she earned a little something in this episode. But we're just going to pretend that didn't happen, and Din Djarin's just going to keep on trucking.
Well, it was hers once upon a time, but
I mean, didn't she kind of earn it that episode?
No. She didn't win it in battle.
Kinda.
She didn't win it from him in battle. He was already captured.
But he lost it to an enemy, and then she got it from said enemy.
Ooh, that's a really good point. Maybe that's why she was wielding it so well. I don't know.
Because so I was watching something today too with Jon Favreau, who was talking about the Darksaber. I think we should do a whole episode on the Darksaber in May.
Oh, well, yeah. I would say Star Wars month, when we do that, we're diving into Mandalore.
Yeah.
We will. And there's a lot to tell there.
And that'll be a good timing too, because I feel like it'll be right around when the Mandalorian's ending. So he said like
April 19th. So yeah.
The saber can be heavier for those it's just not meant for. He said there was a couple things that went into it, training and your destiny. So clearly it's lighter for her than it is for him, because you even saw him in this episode. I feel like we're doing spoilers now, but it still seemed heavy. It seems like he's struggling with it still really with every swing.
And I truly like, again, she can win the Darksaber from him, but it doesn't have to be in combat of I'm going to, evil kill combat. You. It could be in, hey, we settled our business. Now let's settle this business. Let's fight for it. And then, you know.
But would he pull his punches, and would she realize he is pulling his punches?
I don't know, maybe, but I think he also probably kind of knows and all of that stuff. And it's interesting that she hasn't mentioned Satine yet either, as she was talking about it. But
I think we'll get them in Ahsoka. So I forgot, I did watch something else. The Winchesters ended.
Oh, it did. Yeah,
it did. So I did a little spoil. I did like it. I did a little spoiler filled TikTok about it, and other people had comments. And I don't want to say too much, because if I tell you my thoughts, it immediately ruins it. But it was a twist.
I'm only on season 5, folks. We are doing a rewatch, or I'm watching it for the first time.
But what's frustrating is all my Supernatural friends stopped watching it, so I have nobody to talk to about it. But I have so many more thoughts and whatnot about.
Gotta hold on. That's crazy.
I enjoyed it.
Wow. I guess they don't belong in the chat then.
The start of the Winchesters chat. But no, they did a good job, and it wasn't what you expected. But I will say I had a theory, and I said it on the show a few months ago. My theory was right.
Oh, well.
But there was more to it too.
We'll have to wait. We'll get there. Let's roll into some news though. So first things first, Andor, we already knew this. However, Diego Luna was talking, and he said that Andor, it's going to end with season 2. Again, we knew this going into it, but he was talking about it's important for his mental health, knowing that it's going to end. And I agree with him. I know that some actors and actresses, it can be very daunting, just season after season after season and being in certain shapes and things like that. And so I can get how it can really weigh on you. Like, there was a post by Hugh Jackman. He's got to eat 6,000 to 8,000 calories a day for bulking, and he posted all his meals, and the man isn't young. He is not young. No. So I can only imagine how exhausting just constantly eating. Like Chris Hemsworth has talked about it. There's only so much chicken you can eat before you're sick of it. And
you've heard Sabretooth, Liev Schreiber, and Tom Hiddleston both come out and be like, oh, watching them just have to do all this look terrible.
They're just pounding food in between takes.
Unseasoned chicken.
Yeah, God, dude. That's the price you pay for looking like a chiseled god and getting paid millions and being in the most popular franchises. But
I think it's worth it. It's worth it to me for them to do it.
To me over here, I'm like, I would do anything. No,
I'm saying it's worth it to me to have them do it so I can enjoy.
Well, yeah, of course.
I cannot wait to see Hugh Jackman go berserker.
Again.
Berserk.
Allegedly going to be multiple Hugh Jackman Deadpools. Wolverines in this iteration of Deadpool. So can't wait to see that. David Harbour has said that Stranger Things will begin filming in June, which, as you know, final season of Stranger Things. Clancy Brown is joining the Penguin series as Salvatore Maroni, and apparently that has begun filming, and allegedly
bad guy and everything.
He really is. And apparently Robert Pattinson's also supposedly making an appearance too as Batman. Which Batman, the second one, begins to film in November. And then if you've watched Creed 3 that just came out recently, there is allegedly a Creed verse in the works at Amazon. They're exploring possibly doing something with his Adonis's daughter and other works. I haven't watched any of the Creeds. Not a big boxing guy personally. So I somewhat enjoyed Rocky as a kid growing up. It's not my go-to movies. I get why he's important. I get that, this is no knock to Michael B. Jordan. I do want to watch those movies at some point. Maybe I'll have a different opinion then. So we'll see what happens. Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League has been delayed to later this year after fan backlash about the game. This is the third time it's been delayed. It was supposed to come out last October. It got delayed. was supposed to come out like next month. Now it's been delayed again. Yikes, because Gotham Knights was not a very good video game. I've barely played the game and just didn't really enjoy it too much. I got it for Christmas. It was like $30.
And that's what the show's based off of? The killing of Batman?
I guess so, yeah. Batman dies in the game too, and gross. Jensen Ackles was going to play Batman in Gotham Knights, but due to scheduling conflicts, he couldn't. And thank God for that. Because I want him as Batman, but not this Batman.
Yeah. I believe we did talk about that like a while ago when it was rumored that he was going to do it. And then they cast Misha Collins as Two-Face. Yeah. Because I feel like I remember that being a thing for a second.
And Misha Collins said he's down to do the Winchesters. He was actually going to be in the Winchesters this season, but due to scheduling conflicts, he couldn't make it work.
That was part of my TikTok.
Well, I didn't watch it because I want spoilers.
You can't watch it either because there's a scene from like one of the later seasons. Right, I told you not to watch it. I said I just posted a TikTok.
Because you said I can't watch it. I now feel the need to watch it.
But there's also a clip at the end that spoils multiple seasons.
All I know is Dean's back, baby. Dean's not back. Spoilers.
Okay, so it came out Tuesday night, and like Wednesday morning, I dropped the kids off at school, and I was like, okay, I'm going to make some coffee. I'm going to sit down and watch Mando before I do stuff. And then I made a mistake of going on TikTok, and I saw all these spoilers for the finale of the Winchesters. Yeah.
I was not prepared. I was like, I don't care. But then it doesn't matter.
Yeah. So then I was like, well, let me watch that now instead. And I watched Mando later.
Which I have not been spoiled of what happens in Supernatural. Surprisingly, this show has been over and has been out for how long? And I haven't been spoiled. So normally I don't care about spoilers. I don't want to be spoiled. And so I'm abstaining myself. Sex can wait.
Abstinence is good.
Anyways, what news do you have?
John Bernthal has been confirmed that he will be in Daredevil Reborn. And MegaCon announced today that they are doing photo ops with John Bernthal, Charlie Cox, and Vincent D'Onofrio.
However, Karen Page and Foggy Nelson are allegedly not coming back, which I don't think makes a lick of sense.
No, it doesn't. And I also want Kristen Ritter and I want Rosario Dawson.
Kristen Ritter, okay. Kristen Ritter's coming back. If you believe the leaks, if you believe the rumors.
But here's the thing.
What?
Don't you want to see it though and be excited when you watch it rather than just have them be reported beforehand?
Yes and no, but I think the days of surprises like that are long gone just because social media, you have all these scoopers out there now. Unfortunately, like
there go end credit scenes.
You have to just nuke all social media, every single thing at this point to really be surprised by anything that happens.
We still have some surprise, like Luke Skywalker. That was a surprise.
Well, it's because Lucasfilm, like the one thing that they got right was keeping that a secret. Right. One thing that they're getting wrong right now is their films because, that Patty Jenkins and Kevin Feige's films have officially been shelved, which the film side of things, and now they're getting sued for wrongful termination of somebody who worked on the Acolytes. And if there's one thing that should have been made, it should have been Patty Jenkins' Rogue Squadron film. If you look at the success of Top Gun, this is a no-brain movie, but they can't seem to get out of their own way when it comes to movies. But they got it right.
Whatever.
That they
keep making the TV shows.
Yeah, the TV shows, you're killing it. Everything else, not so much.
Or maybe Star Wars just needs more time to tell a proper story. An hour and a half to 2 hours is just not good enough. I want a movie. I
want to sit in theaters and feel excitement that I haven't felt since The Force Awakens.
Oh, you felt it in Spider-Man No Way Home.
Okay, yeah, but I'm talking Star Wars.
Yeah, I know. I've never felt it in the movie theater for Star Wars.
Exactly. See? I want to feel the tingle.
I saw Solo in theaters.
Solo was a good movie. Solo gets wrongful hate, and I will die.
No, I agree with that. Yeah, it does.
Definitely die on that hill. You got any other news?
Nope.
All right. Well, let's go, and we'll be back in just a second talking about the Emerald City Comic-Con and Clearwater Comic-Con.
Hey everyone. I don't have much time, so I'm just going to get right to the point. My name is Jordan Arith, and I host a podcast called Hop Heroes. Myself and two of my good friends discuss comic book stories while drinking delicious craft beer. You can find us on...
What's up, bro? What's going on here?
Oh, hey, Zach. JR, how's it going?
It's going well, man. What are you up to?
Oh, nothing much. Just talking to myself, practicing lines. You know the drill.
Oh, really? Because it sounded like you were recording the promo without us. And I'm just really confused as to why you would go and do something like that.
I wasn't recording without you guys. And why did you knock when you came on? It's a podcast. That doesn't even make any fucking sense.
Hello, everyone. This is Zach Barlow, the host of Hop Heroes podcast.
You're not the host.
I am joined weekly by my counterparts, Jordan and JR, and we will break down Great Brew and discuss the comic book universe. You can find me every Wednesday on all podcast platforms, and these guys will be there as well, I guess.
This is probably why he didn't want you on the promo, Zach.
I'm the host of the show.
All right, welcome back. As we said, we're talking Emerald City Comic-Con. We are talking Clearwater Comic-Con. Lauren, why don't you go first? Tell us all about the Clearwater Comic-Con.
So we're talking beer or cons first? We'll do the cons first, then we can do
cons and we'll talk beer because there's a giveaway going down. The people, if there's like two people that might be actually listening to this, waiting for that secret word, we'll get there first.
Okay. So Clearwater Comic-Con is a very small, free, family-friendly con. Like I mentioned, it's in Clearwater. It's put on by the library, but they do a fantastic job. So it's not one that, you're going to like book your plane ticket and book your hotel and fly out there. But what we ended up doing was we were going over there for our anniversary to go to breweries. So we were like, hey, let's stop by there. We'd had a video from the year before that Tim had taken all the footage. We put some together and it's an awesome con. For when you see the 501 first, I always feel like I say that wrong. Like they're like a big charity, 501st. Yeah. They're, a big charity. They've even supplied costumes to the Mandalorian. We see them at all of the cons. So they're fantastic. Saw a bunch of fantastic cosplay, even for such a tiny place. So to give you an idea of how big it actually is they have a gymnasium where you play basketball, and that whole place was covered with vendors. One of the vendors I did see was somebody we saw at FanX, and I've seen at Comic-Con. I actually, at Christmas time, you can always see a picture behind me of Rudolph and Groot. And so this guy does amazing like collab art like that. Like he had one with Cad Bane and Clint Eastwood, all sorts of phenomenal art. I'm gonna say I tagged it in the TikTok of the video. I did tag the artist. He does some great stuff. I think it's like Greg Kryvak. But his art is fantastic. But he was the biggest one I think I saw that I recognized, but it's also a lot of like Kickstarter comic book people who are there to show off their comic books. Again, you have like vendors that are selling Funko Pops, and you got the bins full of the old toys and the old lunch boxes and all sorts of cool stuff like that. Some guy who was hand making helmets. So I saw like a Magneto helmet, and it was just really cool. They also had some local stuff like just for Clearwater specific like residents. But then they were doing panels all day too. So they had a class where they were teaching people how to, fight with lightsabers. They had panels for some of the, small indie comic book creators. And so I could see this being a con that just gets a little bit bigger and bigger and bigger. And, you had mentioned you brought your son to Emerald City, and like the kids get burned out kind of quick, especially doing panels and stuff. So this is a great introductory con if you're, want to see how your kids are going to handle it. And but even if you don't have kids, it's fantastic.
It's a gateway con, kids.
It's a gateway con, but I really think they just did
most addictive drug there is.
Fantastic. Well, my husband, he's never been to a con, and he's walking around and he goes, this is a lot of shopping. And I was like, yeah, you wouldn't like MegaCon.
Comic-Cons are like 65% look at vendors and shop and comic books and Artist Alley. And then but even like technically, if you're thinking about it, you're shopping autographs and selfies and stuff like that and photographs. So I would say it's about 95% shopping.
Well, the panels, if you really, I think it's more than 5%, but it's just what you make of it with all these cons. Like you can just do whatever you want. Like I know one person, she's like, oh, I just shop when I come to these. And that's literally all she does, and leaves with bags of Funko Pops.
Yeah. There's a lot of resale people that hit those up too and will buy stuff.
Oh yeah. Especially at like San Diego.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Cause they do like the Comic-Con specific releases there. And that's like at Disney, like people were looting all the flower and garden stuff.
So bad. I really do.
You got to make your money how you make your money. I get that. But when you're taking away from people who are there to experience it too, like that's not cool.
Like there's people that I'll get to that in a minute, because I have a spiel on that, and it involves the shirt that I'm wearing actually.
But yeah, so this was awesome. And like I had mentioned before, Tim's girlfriend, she works at the library and she's the one that really manages all of it. And, been working on it for a while, and they had little badges for us that said guests. So I thought that was super sweet and cool. But it was just, it was a great con. If you're ever in Clearwater, the last 2 years, it's been the first week of March. Yeah, stop by. And then there's so many good breweries out there, and the beaches are fantastic, and it's gorgeous over on the West Coast.
Yeah, for sure. And I was
West Coast of Florida.
I was on the West Coast of the United States.
Of the country. Yeah.
As I last minute flew with my 7-year-old and we went to Emerald City Comic-Con in Seattle, Washington. We were picked up graciously by the con. Like, they gave us a press pass. And so
I thought they picked you up at the airport.
Oh, no.
I was like, what?
No, they were going to let us have a panel, but at the time I wasn't going. So we would have had an MCU panel, which would have been crazy. Mm-hmm. That's still like a life goal of mine. But yeah, so we flew in on Thursday, which the con went Thursday to Sunday. Flew in Thursday, left Sunday. So we were only there for like 2.5 days, which was plenty for my son. He wasn't ready for what we were going to do. Me, I'm a tank.
It's a lot.
I go all day, every day. Him, 5 minutes in, he's like, I'm tired of walking. And I'm like, I get it, man. At first I was frustrated because I'm like, dude, come on. But I get it. So yeah, we got there. We got off the plane. We caught an Uber, and all right. So a lot of people talk about Seattle and like, oh, watch out for the homeless. It wasn't any more homeless population there than I've seen at any other city, right? But my 7-year-old really learned some lessons that day. We're driving in the Uber, and there's homeless people in the tent, and he was like, "Why are those people camping next to the road? That's so dangerous." And I was like, "Well, fun fact." They're not camping. Some people just live in stuff like that. And then we were walking through the city, and he was freaking out about people littering, which was really cute. He's very anti-litter. And cause we came from Boise, Idaho, where you don't see a lot of litter. You don't see a lot of homeless. But I grew up I'm from Boston, where I see crazy homeless people all the time. I've been yelled at by homeless people. It doesn't bother me. I'm a city kid. And he just learned some lessons that day. But we went that Thursday, and we went straight to the Sonic booth. There were some artists there doing Sonic, and it was great because they signed a comic book for him, and he was really excited. He just wanted to buy all the comics. He thought it was the coolest thing ever. And then we went to Humberto Ramos's booth, and my 7-year-old is just sitting. There's nobody around because it's a Thursday. There's not busy at all, and freaking Humberto Ramos is giving my child like MCU lessons, talking about his work on Strange Academy. And part of me wanted to be like, come on our podcast. The other part of me was like, this is one of the biggest artists for Marvel Comics. I don't have the balls to do that right now, but it was just so cool to see like my son get immersed in that. So that was really cool. We went, and we were going to go to a brewery, but it was dark. I didn't quite understand that when you walk down to Pike's Market, that you have to like go down some stairs or go around, and it was weird. So we ended up at the Hard Rock Cafe, my son's choice, not my first choice, not my ever choice, ever.
Oh, they're fun.
But we went there. It was really cool seeing like Kurt Cobain's guitar hanging up and things like that. Like that, they have some Seattle specific things. And yeah, seeing Kurt Cobain's guitar and stuff, super cool. And then the next day, Friday morning, we woke up, we went to the original Starbucks. That was cool as crap. It's not anything great. They don't serve food in there. They usually have like a line, but we were first in line. You get drinks. They have like a pig that's made out of coffee beans. We got a mug that says Pike's Place, all that. Oliver thought it was cool. We got a hot chocolate from there. We walked back, he dressed up like Miles, went to the con. The one thing that I'll say about this is like FanX Salt Lake, if you're press, we got to like go wherever and do whatever we wanted. At this Comic-Con, they wouldn't let you do like anything. Like, you didn't get
any. They just got the press passes.
Yeah, like you had the press, but that didn't mean you get to go walk the floor, take pictures, do any of that stuff. They were very uptight about that. And I was like, all right, it's fine. Whatever.
I feel like that makes like a lot of sense, though, to do that. Like at first I was like, wow, this is so cool. But it's like, that's when you get the footage without all the people in it.
Well, that's what I wanted. I wanted to like take some shots of the booths and things like that before people were in it. But they were very uptight about it. So I was like, all right, I'm not going to argue. We already got, I don't want to ruin this relationship.
Right. Yeah.
And the first place we did when we did get in was I owe Josh Trujillo $5 because he's the writer for Blue Beetle Graduation Day. There's a 6-issue run going on right now. He's actually going to come on the show in August before the movie releases. And I Apple paid him. It didn't work. So I freaked out. And I was like, I don't want this guy thinking I'm not paying him money for his comic book.
Well, the internet in there, that happens all the time.
It does. So I messaged him that night and I was like, hey, for some reason didn't pay you. He's like, dude, don't worry about it. Just come by. So I did. And then I went down to the Roosevelt's booth. Roosevelt says, I have a ton of these shirts. They are the most comfortable shirts I have.
They're like, we know you tag us every day.
Well, funny story. As I'm waiting in line, this was the Friday. So the Kraken shirt that I'm wearing in this, if you're on YouTube, this shirt, the Kraken shirt, they only made 100, I guess. This shirt was like the hottest commodity. There's a Roosevelt's Insiders Facebook group where a bunch of us, there's like thousands of people that love to share shirts. There is. It's a great group.
$2,000 worth of shirts to get into it.
Don't be lame. No, but there is like a password to get in. It's awesome. I love that group.
Is it New England clam chowder?
Oh my God, shut up. And don't make fun of me. And it's
the red or the white.
There's people that's how I got my Turbo Man shirt is I found somebody who had it and you can trade shirts or, hey, there's an exclusive shirt at this Comic-Con. Can you pick me up a shirt? Which I did for somebody. However, I'm waiting in line and Steve, the guy who like founded it and who runs Roosevelt's, he walks by, he's talking to people, wicked cool guy. I was like, hey, you want to come on a podcast? I gave him our business card. He's like, I seen you on Twitter. I was like, it's because I tag you every 5 seconds. You know what I'm saying?
They make super cute koozies too.
Yeah, like I've got a Star Wars koozie of theirs, but they're just a great brand.
Oh, their fabrics are gorgeous.
I went and I picked up the Kraken shirt for myself. I was going to buy it for the other person, but they only let you buy one Kraken shirt. I bought it for myself. It's a little selfish. I know. I'm sorry. However, Chandler, he's a new listener. I got him the first Thursday release and I got him the Loki shirt. But this is where secret word for those of you guys who want to enter, they were giving away a Roosevelt's exclusive t-shirt. It has Roosevelt Seattle Emerald City Comic-Con with a Space Needle. Really comfy shirt. I'm wearing it underneath this one actually. So they were giving it with each. They were giving it with each exclusive on each day.
Like a president.
So since I bought the Loki shirt, I bought the Kraken shirt. I have 2 extra large Roosevelt's t-shirts, and I wanted to give one away just because people couldn't make it. Some people were bummed they couldn't get the Kraken shirt, that kind of stuff. So, if you want to be entered in our giveaway, you have until this episode is releasing, and well, not until this episode is releasing. I'm sorry. You have
releasing March 12th.
Yes, it is releasing March 12th. You have a week from March 12th to listen to the episode. The secret code is going to be Teddy. Teddy. Teddy is the secret word. DM us the secret word that is Teddy, and you will be entered to win. And a week from the 12th, I don't know what that is off the top of my head.
March 19th.
Yes, March 19th. I'll draw a random name and I will announce it, and that person will win the Roosevelt's exclusive t-shirt. So Teddy is the word that you want to have to DM us, whether it's on Facebook, whether it's on Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, email us. I don't care. Just
hopsgeeknews@gmail.com.
Yes. And then Hopsgeek News on any social media site. We have a Facebook group. Join it if you want. But yeah, Teddy.
You can't DM us on there though, can you?
No, you can DM my personal one. I see it. If you want to, I'll allow it. So yeah, but no, Friday was awesome. We lasted like a few hours. I linked up with Jackson Lansing. I talked to David Papose. Both are coming on our show. So David
is really freaking big.
I know. So David Papose just wrapped up his run on Savage Avengers. He's going to be coming on in April. Jackson Lansing and Colin Kelly are going to be doing a Guardians of the Galaxy run. They're coming on at the end of April. And then I talked to Jodie Hauser, who does Stranger Things, Star Wars. She's massive. I'm such a fan of hers. I'm working on a date, but she agreed that she was like, yeah, I'll come on your show. And so I'm going to work with her, and she could potentially be coming on. I want to get her on Star Wars month. And so I'm hoping for that because she's a Star Wars writer. So I would love to chop up Star Wars with her. But I didn't do any panels Friday. The panel schedule was kind of weak. I'll be honest. Like, that's my only gripe about this Comic-Con is there weren't really any panels until Sunday.
I was going to say, did Mark Ruffalo do a panel?
He did Sunday. The Mandalorian panel, Sunday. Guess who left Sunday at 7 a.m.? Me. So it kind of
I haven't bought my MegaCon tickets yet, but I'm hoping to go all 4 days. So I should have a lot of content.
And I did. And we got lunch, and we went back to the con. Oliver took a hard nap, my son, because he was just wiped out. We stayed up late the night before. I took him to see Ant-Man. There was a Regal Cinemas attached to I stayed at the Roosevelt, or the Hotel Theodore is what I stayed in, funny enough, actually. And there was a Regal Cinema. So we went to the Hard Rock, and we were walking back, and I was like, you want to go see Ant-Man? It's like 8:00 at night. We went and saw Ant-Man. I fell asleep because it was the reclining chairs, and I fell asleep, but he stayed up the whole time. Didn't go to bed till like 11, so he was tired. Went back to the con, met up with some friends that I hadn't seen in 7 years. We went to the Dough Zone, got some dumplings, Mountain dumplings, played arcade games, which is super cool. Downtown Seattle is awesome. It's beautiful. I loved the vibe of Seattle. Saturday, we woke up, went to the con, got breakfast, and just walked around. I did go to the Clone Wars panel, actually. I didn't think I was going to make it because on Friday we went to the brewery was Old Stove Brewing. It's a really great brewery. Had 5 of their beers, tried their stout, tried their West Coast, tried their cherry sour, tried 2 hazies. Great brewery, great food. I had fish sandwich. Like, I'm going to Seattle. I'm eating fish. Oliver, grilled cheese over here, right? And so I went there on Friday. Then we went back and I caught some of the Clone Wars panel, which is when we left to get him a nap. We only were there for like 20 minutes, but it was really cool because Ashley Eckstein was talking. It was just great being in that panel. That's the only panel I actually went to this weekend, unfortunately.
She's a good panel though, like because she does random things at Disney, like
Matt Lanter and the whole Clone War.
The Obi-Wan guy was there.
It was awesome. It was cool getting to hear like their favorite episodes, all of that stuff. So.
Yeah, I saw the 3 of them at MegaCon but like she's doing another thing at Downtown Disney this month for Women's History Month, and that she went to last year, and I did that. I'm not going to be able to make it. I'm going to be out of town, but she does a lot of like impromptu stuff at Disney. She's always a great speaker, and she always has like a little bit of like motivational speaker in her too, but not in like a cheeseball way.
Yeah,
she's very positive, and she does like mental health Mondays. So anybody not following her on Instagram, I highly recommend it. It's a fun follow because it's very uplifting, very positive, and also very geeky.
Yes.
There was what? Hulk Hogan was there?
No, she has her clothing brand. She has a clothing brand.
Oh yeah, her universe. Yeah, I have a ton of her dresses and stuff.
Nice.
Probably more than I should.
Oh well. Yeah.
I'm gonna wear my Wanda dress to MegaCon. I'm so excited. It's so pretty, and it has pockets.
Are you gonna wear the Mickey ears too? The Wanda.
Oh fuck! Yes, I am. Yep.
Nice.
They match.
Yeah, we go to cons a lot, folks. We love doing that. Saturday I went and before I got this super cool thing that I'm about to talk about, I met up with some friends of ours that were one of the first podcasts that we ever did or collaborated with, the Hop Heroes boys, JR, Zach, and Jordan. And it was awesome. Got to meet up with them. It was funny because JR and Zach had like their babies latched to the front of them. And
that's so funny when you sent me that picture. Well, because I've listened to them because they took a hiatus for a little bit, and then they just started podcasting again. And when they first came back, both the wives were pregnant.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was learning how to do role playing or whatever.
We were going to play a D&D type game. Yep.
Yeah.
Lauren was going to role play.
Backstory and everything.
But no, they were there because they're based out of Tacoma, that area. So it was really cool meeting them. They're awesome dudes, man. Like super awesome dudes. Sure. And then I had a exclusive booth tour with Justin, the senior marketing executive for Bandai Namco, and that was awesome. Oliver was kind of toast at that point, so he was ready to go. He was dragging. It was kind of weird. The internet wasn't cooperating, so I tried to live stream, and it's on YouTube if you want to watch just what we were talking about. But it was super cool. He showed me all the exclusive toys, talked to me about it, and he gave us a free their nano blocks. He gave us a Charmander and a Charizard, and then he was like, "Hey, hit me up, and I'll send you toys to review for your show." And so I hope he does. I emailed him, haven't heard back, but maybe he's just taking it off. And so I hope that that's something that could potentially be coming. And then we went to Pike Brewing. We met up with Jordan and his friend Mark at Pike Brewing. And that place, I had a fish sandwich. Again, Oliver had a grilled cheese, but I had their stout and their hazy. Good brewery. There was a lot of decor going on in the background. It was kind of overwhelming because there was just so much happening loud decor wise, but the beer was good. The food was great. And pretty sure my son saw a homeless man overdose and die. We we were walking, and the guy started to seize, and then he dropped down and stopped
Oh my
moving.
God. Should you
Oliver's-
guys call 911?
Yeah. Well, Oliver was staring at him, and I was like, dude, don't stare. Keep going. And he was staring. I was like, bro, keep going. And then me and this girl made eye contact. We're like, we're going to call this in. So we called it in, and I don't know what happened because I was like, get you out of here. You're 7 years old. You don't need to see this.
Yeah.
And
Right.
yeah, but overall though, man, Seattle was awesome. We went back to the hotel like 3, and he was toast. He just wanted to watch TV, didn't go to the Space Needle, didn't do any of that stuff. I respect it. He's 7. Got to remember that. But all in all, Seattle, that was my first time there. Bucket list city. I loved it. Absolutely loved Seattle. Would go back in a heartbeat. Emerald City Comic-Con was one of the best well put together cons I've ever been a part of. 5 floors. At no point, Saturday was sold
That's
out.
crazy.
Over 75,000 people there that weekend. At no point did I feel like, some Comic-Cons are
Like it's
2
MegaCon
floors.
Saturday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like no point did I feel like sardined in. It was awesome. I was like, you can move freely. There was places in the convention center that you could sit off to the side and just stare out over the city. There was the panel floors were on 3, 4, and then the main stage was on 5, where they were doing Mark Ruffalo's autographs and stuff. Like they had the autographs up at the very top at 5. Really open spaced. They had a big taped off area at the very top floor they had foam swords. So if you wanted to like play around, you can lay around. There was charging cable, like you could charge your phone and anything else anywhere in that building. There was plugs everywhere. They had a lot of panel rooms. Straight up one of the best put together Comic-Cons. I cannot say that enough. If you get a chance, go to this con. It is amazing.
Nice.
That was my weekend. Man. I loved
It's a
it.
fun weekend.
It was awesome.
Yeah. So some of the breweries, I did want to talk a little bit about that. So anybody who's familiar with beer, Tampa is big for beer. It was actually
Yes.
Tampa Bay Beer Week that week. We have Cigar City, High Leg up on the map pretty quickly is a very well-known IPA, but there's also St. Pete Tampa is very close to like St. Pete and Clearwater and then Dunedin.
They're all the same in my head. I'm going to be honest with you.
Tampa, they're all
Pete and stuff.
pretty close. Yes. It's all the West Coast, like central West Coast of Florida, if that makes any sense, near USF. And so everybody had been telling me for years, you got to check out Dunedin. And so finally we did. And Tim's girlfriend actually showed us around. She's very familiar with the area. So we hung out with them for the whole day on Sunday. And you can walk to multiple breweries, multiple pubs. It was amazing. I did do a little video on my TikTok, the Hoppy Mommy, but a couple things that I wanted to mention that are geek relevant, not just beer relevant, was there was an arcade bar called Reboot. And of course it had little cup holders where you could put your cups while you're playing the games. It had decent beer.
That's awesome.
It was very cool. I'll post some of that on our Instagram. And then we actually hung out for a little bit in like a room that almost looks like a room that you might play D&D in. And we played like Cards Against Humanity while we drank our beers. So that was pretty cool. And then Seventh Sun. So Seventh Sun has 2 locations. One's in Tampa and one is in Dunedin. And Dunedin is their original. So it's very tiny, but they have had a lot of cool, like just Star Wars kind of toys hanging around. And that brewery is great. All sorts of different variety. And if you've ever seen the spiral, like almost miniature wine glass beer flight, that's most likely Seventh Sun. I'm sure there's another brewery that does it too, but anytime I see their flights, I'm like, oh, they're so pretty. But what's funny too about Dunedin, and you might like this, is it's kind of like a Hallmark Town-esque because it's so tiny and you can decorate it for Christmas and everything. And there have been things that have been filmed there. They filmed a movie called A Taste of Love, and it had Kreese from Cobra Kai. And they were also, I guess, currently filming or might have just finished filming something starring Dean Cain.
I can't picture John Kreese in a Hallmark-esque love story ever.
Yeah. I think he was somebody's dad. I looked it up because I think Kayla had mentioned that there was some Hallmark movie or something. So I did try to Google it. But they were filming some movie with Dean Cain as the city mayor called Radar: Adventures of the Bionic Dog. And it's filming in Dunedin. I don't know.
Oh, that's cool. Interesting.
But it's a great little city. Oh, and I also saw that painted on the wall on a distillery was the "I assure you we're open." And as soon as I saw like the corner of it, I was like, oh, is that what I think it is? And it was the distillery was right between Hob Brewing, House of Beer Brewing, and CUNY Brewing.
That's
so
awesome.
it's a distillery in between these. And we walked the whole day. We walked to all these places.
Yeah.
It was fantastic. And then we even had
you
like
get your workout in, drink some beers.
I don't think that we did get our workout in. I didn't close any rings on Sunday because everything was so close together.
Oh, I was like, what? You've been walking the whole day. What do you mean?
But everything was so close that I felt like we were barely walking. And then like we just walked like a block over and down by the water. We had dinner. Like it was lovely.
That's awesome. By the way, I'm going to take this chance to plug. Speaking of come in, we're open. I assure you we're open. Yeah, we had Brian O'Halloran and Jeff Anderson on our podcast at one point. No big deal. Just going to plug that again.
And he did like my tweet. Brian
out there. He follows us. Look, we're kind of friends with Brian O'Halloran. Okay.
I was telling my friends. Yeah, Erica's like, oh, she's going to tell the story again.
Lauren, literally. Yeah. Any chance I get, I'm like, yeah, no big deal. He follows us. We talk sometimes. And yeah, he was on our show. Both of them were on our show before. He even used Lauren's shoe to open a beer. No big deal.
True.
I'll tell that till the day I die. If you lose those you need to frame those flip-flops, because if you ever lost them, I would be so sad.
They're my go-to flip-flops. I wear them all the time.
Well, you need to buy new ones and frame those bad boys with your
I probably do need new ones. They're just the reef stable because they have arch support and they're flip-flops. So they're super
Buy
comfy.
new ones, because if you lose those, you can. What are we going to do?
I don't know. But I was telling that story too, because we met up with my friend Mike. He's the one that actually stayed at the Avengers cabin. And we were talking about that for a while because his wife set that up for his 40th birthday. They went and stayed at Tony Stark's cabin and they did the tour and everything. And they had just filmed Wakanda getting flooded. And they went to where not Chadwick, or T'Challa was, they did his funeral, and he has pictures of doing the Wakanda Forever in the woods over there. And they showed Bucky's hut. Man. They did a tour of Bucky's hut. All of that's in Atlanta. Or just outside of Atlanta. That's a bucket list. It's on Airbnb if you want to stay at Tony Stark's cabin.
We got to do it like next year. If I move to Georgia, you know what we're doing.
We were actually talking about that this weekend, because I was like, okay, well, if it's, if it was Tim and Kayla and then Josh and I, but then Ian and so it's like because it's 6 people. Year. So we got to figure it out. It has to be 6 committed people, because it's like, it's like $800 a night, but if you have 6 people,
yeah, come in.
And it's a minimum of 3 nights.
Carrie and I are in. Just do it next year, because there's a lot going on this year.
There's a lot going on this year.
I got LA, I got Boston, I got maybe Boston again. I've got moving. I've got Omaha.
You do have
Nebraska.
Boston again, or do you just have Portland, Maine? All right.
So yeah, maybe next year, but yeah, Comic-Cons, folks. We love to be there. If you're going to be at MegaCon, hey, Lauren's going to be there. Make sure you say hi to her. Get some stickers from her. Get some swag. Roosevelt's is going to be there. I'm probably going to be like, hey, Lauren.
Is there going to be something exclusive I have to get for you?
Most likely, because they're probably going to do an exclusive at MegaCon. They're going to be at Boston in August too, and then they're going to be at Philly as well. So I might need some people. But yeah, come say hi to Lauren and say what's up to her. Say, hey, it's me. I listened to your podcast. And get some free swag. Grab a beer.
It'll be my mom. She'll be like, "Hey, I'm over here, Lauren."
It's gonna be Lauren's mom. She's the only one that listens. Actually, she's the only one.
I know, Mom. I know.
The only one. I'll get like, sometimes it's hit or miss if we get comment like notifications for YouTube, and I'll get one. I'll be like, oh, sweet. Let's see what this is. It's Lauren's mom. But hey, that's better than you. My mom don't give a shit. My mom don't listen.
Well, and it boosts the algorithm, I would think. Yeah, so I'm always for it. Yeah. Comment away, Mom. Just before we be mindful.
Wrap up. Comments, like, subscribe, all of that good stuff.
Like my mom does.
Like Lauren's mom does. Help the podcast grow. If you're part of the Roosevelt's family who listened to this episode, I hope you enjoyed. And Teddy is the word, and that's all you need. So join in on the giveaway. I hope you stick around. Join our Facebook group. Have some good chats with us. And if anybody out there is listening, wants to help the podcast grow so we can go to more Comic-Cons and things like that, patreon.com/HopsGeekNews. And until next time, folks, I'm Matt. That's Lauren. Cheers.